Hi everyone, my name is Clara, and I'm going to talk about how to introduce ourselves into group work for my art skill sustainability video. So, I think all of us have had these experiences where we have very good group projects and very bad group projects, and I've taken some time to reflect on some of the ones that go really well and some of them that don't go quite as well. And I was quite inspired by my current practicum with the Dancer Transition Resource Center, where I had a very amazing way that I was introduced into the project I was working on and into the organization. And I found there were some very commonalities in the group projects that work well, along with how I was introduced into this organization, with the ones that didn't really work quite as well. So, what are these skills, introducing ourselves into group projects? So this is really a matter of both personal sustainability and social sustainability, because in one way it helps us become needlessly frustrated and get burnt out, but it also helps us keep good working relationships with our peers and coworkers. So what else is this about? Well, this skill is a matter of proposing a certain amount of questions at the beginning of a project in order to figure out what everybody wants from it. The goal is to reach a shared consensus on what we are working together as a team. We want to find a happy zone where everybody agrees with the plan and everybody's needs and wants are hopefully meted, or at least compromised to. So I just talked about a shared consensus, but the real question is, what is the shared consensus? So a shared consensus is basically an agreement that everybody is aware of and is alright with. So a discussion is a good way to make sure everybody knows what's going on and everybody's okay with what's going on. Depending on your project or whatever you're working on, some might need more time, more detail, or more clarity. Clarity being the most important of all. Why is this important? Well, making sure that everybody knows their expectations, their tasks, and their goals basically means that the clearer it is, the better understanding everybody will be, and the more space everybody will have to bring up any problems or concerns that they have. Being able to balance people's wants and needs, as well as identifying our own, is a good way to make sure everybody is happy. So community agreements are actually a very good example of guidelines that are made and agreed upon together. There are many ways that this conversation gets started, and I usually like posing a bunch of questions. Some of the ones that I've proposed here are, what work do we want to contribute? What do we want to create together? What do we expect the final product to look like? How are we going to share tasks and responsibilities? How are we going to approach communication and interaction? How do we support each other throughout the working process? And how do we create an environment that's enjoyable to be in? These questions can fit in a few categories. This first category mostly talks about the expectations of what do we want to create, why are we in a team together. Next, this category of questions mostly talks about how do we balance our wants and needs? What do I want to work on? What am I good at? And how do we separate our responsibilities and tasks through this? Lastly, this group is all about support. How do we find ways to support each other throughout the working process? How do we find times to take a break? And what are our expectations as a team working together and communicating together? By being clear about our expectations and how to work can be very good ways to make sure your group project doesn't go downhill and any friendships. This helps to make the entire situation more enjoyable overall. And it's good practice to work healthily and make sure that everybody has a say in what they want to do. That's all I have for today. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video.